watching KXII's First News at 6 with Tom Crespo, Maureen Kane, Sports with David Reed, and now Steve LaNore with First Weather.
Well, we're just on the wrong side of the world for this one. A lunar eclipse taking place on the other side of the world, Australia, parts of Europe, Africa, and Central Asia, getting to see the lunar eclipse. And you can see there a part of the shadow of the Earth cast on the moon, creating that strange sight there with the bite out of the moon and the reddish color from the moon being caused by light from the Earth's atmosphere bent around to the backside of the Earth where the moon is. You have to have a full moon to get a lunar eclipse, so we will have a full moon in Texoma tonight, but you will not see the eclipse, which again happens on the other side of the world today. So a little closer to home, look outside. Boy, it's just wall-to-wall sunshine today. Those showers and storms that we had last night are long gone. It looks like you won't see any more for a while. Our live tower cam sponsored by Glenpoe Autoplex in Gainesville, and another toasty day. Now, it was just a couple degrees less hot than the last few days. 97 in Sherman and Denison. It was 99 yesterday. 96 today in Ardmore. It was 98 yesterday. And much the same throughout Texoma. Temperatures still up there in the toasty zone. And in fact, 100 this afternoon, Pauls Valley, one of the higher readings, 97s. Sherman, Denison, Paris, 99 this last hour at Nakona and Marietta, and 97 also in Medill. And on Lake Texoma, no significant change here either with your power generation at 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Again today, according to the Army Corps of Engineers, southeasterly wind flows are bringing in higher moisture content, so not only are we expecting it to be hotter as the weekend approaches, but also the higher humidity making the heat index, how hot it feels, worse than it has been. And there are your current temperatures across Texoma. Here's your heat index values. Now, Ardmore having a little trouble with the gauge there. Your heat index this hour is at 101. Elsewhere, lots of spots feeling like 100 to 105 degrees. When you start getting close to 105, you start talking about some heat stress issues. So next few days, folks, please take it easy if you have to be outside for extended periods of time. Take some breaks, wear a light, loose-fitting clothing, and drink lots of non-alcoholic beverages to keep you cool. Not much wind this evening. The wind will pick up tomorrow, though, out of the south and southwest. A hot day. Temperatures generally, though, just a few degrees cooler than they have been across Oklahoma and North Texas. And, boy, you really have to study this picture to find very many clouds. A little patch of clouds here in southeast Oklahoma. Just did not see the storms materialize today. And I think why is the upper trough moved off to the east, created a zone of sinking air behind that. Also, the upper high is strengthening and coming in from the west. So just kind of squished that front as far as really having any upper level support, and we just saw really basically a wind shift with that front. So the high pressure sliding back towards the northeast. That'll increase the sinking motion. We'll have a good southwesterly wind flow at the surface. All these point to increasing temperatures the next day or two. Now, a trough of low pressure may bring us some hope for rain about Monday, Tuesday of next week as it pushes the front our way. That's really our next hope for rain. Monday, Tuesday of next week. In the meantime, the front fizzles overnight. We get a south to southwesterly wind. It'll be a breezy and hot day for the big celebration in Dallas tomorrow, but no rain expected, and it'll be plenty hot here in Texoma as well. Overnight will be in the 70s. It'll be a warm and sticky start to your Thursday. Many spots not getting much below about 75 or 76. And tomorrow, anybody watching this broadcast could be around 100. Partly cloudy, warm and humid tonight. We're talking 73 to 78. A lot of us closer to 78 than that 73. Sunny and breezy tomorrow, 97 to 102. The lower temperatures that get across the eastern parts of Texoma where it'll be more humid, so kind of a trade-off there. And probably the hottest weather Friday and Saturday when right around 100 to 101 either day. Now that's an average, plus or minus a couple degrees at your place.
All right, so you want to be in the air conditioning or out on the lake in the water?
That's a good plan. I like it.
Thanks.
Steve. There's a full moon tonight, and it's a beautiful one because skies are crystal clear, and you can see we have very calm conditions, scarcely any rocking on the tower cam. You know, sometimes when it's windy, this thing can be shaking. Not so tonight, as we have a very tranquil but warm night in progress. Our tower cam sponsored by our friends at Glenpoe Autoplex in Gainesville. And let's talk about another hot day. Now, we did see temperatures a couple degrees lower today than the last few days. Still, though, definitely on the hot side, 97 degrees Sherman Denison. It was 100 for the third day in a row in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. It was actually 101 there yesterday, their third day of the year, triple digits. We haven't seen that yet in much of Texoma, but across the western extremes again today, we did see 100 plus. But again, not quite as many hundreds as we've seen in the last few days. That will be changing, though, as the heat wave intensifies a little bit going into the weekend. It's 97 today. Sherman Denison, the updated high for Ardmore, 95 degrees, still well above the average, which should be right around 89 or 90 this time of the year. And the overnight low is really stifling this morning with only 79 degrees for Sherman, Denison, and Paris. That's as cool as it could get. And tonight, many spots will stay in the mid to upper 70s thanks to a very moist atmosphere and wind coming now back to the south and southeast. Here are the lake stats for Lake Texoma. And a reminder, you can go to you can go to our web channel at KXII.com/. weather and check on the levels for many area lakes that are not given on the broadcast. You can see here tonight, still 88 degrees, Sherman and Denison, like we talked about a moment ago. We've got a light east to southeast wind at just a few miles per hour. As you can see here, winds are very light. I think they'll pick up quite a bit tomorrow, though, and we'll have a rather gusty and hot Thursday. Also, fairly high humidity over much of Texoma, making for just really, when you open the door, kind of a sauna type of night out there. Not much in the way of cloud cover. We have a strong sinking moisture now in the atmosphere with high pressure. Now, last night, we had a trough come across Oklahoma. That generated some thunderstorms along that front. That front stalled in southern Oklahoma today, kind of died, and with the trough moving away, we lost our upper level support. That system is over here in the the Ohio Valley now. It created some pretty big thunderstorms tonight from Indiana back down into Tennessee. Was one tornado reported along the Mississippi River in northwestern Illinois near Albany earlier. No reports of any fatalities with that, but there was some damage with that storm. That's part of the same trough that brought us our storms moving away now, replaced by the big red H. You know about this if you watch the broadcast very often. These in the summertime always mean heat, and we're expecting to see that heat be turned up a little bit over the next day or two. I think Friday and Saturday, looking at temperatures 100 to 105 degrees across Texoma, have bumped it up a couple of degrees based on the latest indications of how hot the air is going to be coming out of Mexico, how strong the sinking is going to be, and so forth. Now the potential good news as we get later into the weekend, early next week, start to see a potential for some rain. It says Sunday 6 p.m. here. This will start to move into Texoma possibly Monday night and Tuesday as this trough begins to swing across the area. Not a guarantee, but potential there. The ridge will weaken, and we'll get a replacement pattern maybe in about 5 days. In the meantime, though, on to Thursday, it's going to be more of the same. A southerly to southwesterly wind flow. A lot of sun, a lot of heat for Texoma. In the morning, many spots will struggle down to the mid-70s. It'll be a very sultry start to your Thursday. And tomorrow, close to 100 in many spots, upper 90s for our eastern counties, and even hotter on Friday. Partly cloudy, warm and humid tonight, and not a lot of wind. Winds running about 10 miles per hour or so. Mostly sunny, breezy. Talking 97 to 102 for the high tomorrow. Wind southwest at 15 to 25 miles per hour. I've gone ahead and bumped the highs up to 102 Friday and Saturday. Now that's the average. So I'm saying 100 to 105 the spread on Friday and Saturday, when I think virtually all of Texoma, both those days, will hit 100. You know, down in Dallas tomorrow for the parade, it'll be 90 about 10 o'clock.
Oh, my God.
I don't think anybody's going to care either.
No, because the Mavericks
true.
are hot, too.
That's right.
All right, thanks, Steve. Still ahead on First News at 10.
We're looking at Lake Texoma here across our Tanglewood Tower cam. A good day to not be on the lake. I don't see any boats out there, do you? Boy, I tell you, it's a rough one with winds gusting to 40 miles per hour throughout the afternoon. Now, tomorrow, a much better day to head out to the lake as we get a big decrease in the wind, and our live Tanglewood Tower cam brought to you by Glen Polk Autoplex in Gainesville. Let's look at the map here. We have a lot of features to talk about on the map. Of course, the satellite imagery showing the cloud cover moving off to the east. A little jet streak coming across central Oklahoma, giving a band of clouds there, and some thunderstorms forming out ahead of the dry line across Kansas. And this is a boundary between moist air to the east, much drier air to the west. That'll pass through Texoma tonight, followed by this cold front in the morning, and this front will come through dry as well, unfortunately. But it will bring us some very pleasant conditions for tomorrow as the wind begins to drop off. Now, today, of course, the big story, very hot temperatures out west, 90 still at Wichita Falls. Temperatures upper 70s to lower 80s across Texoma. There are your numbers for your March 22nd, 2011, with highs generally in the low 80s, and our lows about where the highs should be for this time of the year. We've been saying that for about a week now. We've been in a stretch of unusually warm weather for March. Not record high, but certainly, again, way off the mark for what we normally expect here in the mid to late March time frame. Well, talking about Lake Texoma again, tomorrow should be a pretty decent day to head out there. There are your stats for the lake. Power generation today has ended. It'll be 2 to 6 tomorrow, and sunrise at 7:26 in the morning. Still hanging on to a warm and humid 79 degrees now, Sherman Denison. That wind is still running very strong, south sustained at 29, gusts up in the 30s. They will slowly dial down this evening. 82 in Ardmore now, winds south at 12, and a southerly breeze at 18. We're at 79 for you in Paris, and max wind gusts today have been, again, in the 35 to 45 mile per hour range. One of the stronger wind gusts was in the Sherman Denison area at 44 miles per hour, but a 40 mile per hour gust from Denton. Across western Oklahoma, wind gusts to 58 miles per hour this afternoon along that dry line and back into the very dry air in northwest Oklahoma. Air temps right now, look at these, 82 now at Toka, Gainesville, Ardmore, 82 still in Pauls Valley, and Duncan now. Dry line going through, it's 90 degrees there with that westerly wind and that much drier air. Dry air heats up more efficiently, so it does get hotter, and that's why the hottest weather was out to our west. There's that tongue of hot air moving up from Texas. into Oklahoma. The front, of course, right through here, and much cooler air coming in behind that system. We'll just catch a glancing blow of that, so not a whole lot colder here. But Thursday morning will be a chilly morning with that slightly cooler air settling in. You can see this big upper low moving off the north. Got some winter storm warnings in effect across Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Michigan. That's this low tracks to the east. And notice how the storm track really stays across the northern part of the country the next several days. Big ridge of high pressure keep things pretty warm here. So talk about the jet stream into the weekend, just kind of up to the north. So not seeing any big intrusions of cold air in the next few days. This low, probably our best chance of rain early next week as it drops southeast and then across Oklahoma and Texas Sunday, Monday, and we do have a chance of rain coming in perhaps at that time. But overnight our front comes through dry. It kind of combines with the dry line. They push through together. And then tomorrow a lot of sunshine, a whole lot less wind. So I think you're going to like that. The wind has been pretty rough to deal with. And as we get into later in the week, the humidity will definitely be dropping off as we get into Wednesday. Now on your Wednesday morning, notice how the dry air comes in from the west. We start to get a cooling effect from that overnight, especially across the western parts of Texoma. So 50s west to low 60s east, and tomorrow with the sun out, ought to be a really nice day. The wind really dropping off nicely tomorrow. Clearing, it'll stay windy for certainly the evening hours. We'll see the winds ease off tomorrow, and we'll enjoy some very fine spring weather into Thursday. Now the wind cranks back up on Friday, unfortunately, and that's going to be another high fire danger day. Best rain chance probably going to be late Sunday into Monday. So hang on a few more days. We may cash in on some rain.
All right, thanks, Steve. Something to look forward to.
You know, I think it might be a car wash Wednesday around here because, boy, there's a lot of dust on the vehicles. I think we got a little bit of dust from West Texas with all the wind coming in today in the upper levels from the west, even though our surface winds are from the south. And in any case, the rain pretty much missed Texoma again. We had one very small shower form this evening near Thackerville. That lasted about 20 minutes, and it's long gone. Tonight we have a partly cloudy sky. The wind is still blowing, as you can see on the tower cam, shaking back and forth there. But the wind has been dropping off a little bit, and our tower cam, of course, is sponsored by Glenpoe Autoplex in Gainesville. Look at the numbers today. We're talking about downright hot weather out to the west in that dry air. 92 this afternoon in Wichita Falls. It was 90 degrees in Abilene, Texas, 87 in Oklahoma City. Weather was more moisture in the air, not quite as warm, but definitely way above the average. 80 this afternoon for Sherman Denison, 83 in Ardmore, topped out 79 degrees for Paris and Antlers. And notice the lows. We're in the low to mid 60s, also way above the mark here. Our sixth day in a row of extremely warm weather for this time of the year, but not record warmth. There's your Lake Texoma numbers for your Wednesday. Power generation will be 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Tonight we're still at a balmy 73 degrees, wind is south of 16, but it was gusting to over 35 a few hours ago. So we have dialed down the wind a little bit with the 57% humidity. We're still on the moist side of that dry line. Ardmore 74 degrees. Dry line's about 30 miles to your west near Ringling, where the dry line feature is right now. Wind south-southwest at 8, and Paris 72. Wind south breeze at 17 miles per hour. Temperature's quite uniform across Texoma. Everybody in the low to mid 70s at this time. Now the max wind gusts this afternoon that we saw was the North Texas Regional Airport, Perrin Field. 44 mile per hour wind gusts, but throughout the area winds were similar. 40 mile per hour gusts for the Davis Sulphur area. It was 30s to around 40 for everybody. Just really howling out of the south today. And that was caused by deep low pressure well to our north. Now as that moves away, the wind has been slowly decreasing here this evening. Here's the dry line. Again, one little shower formed along that there in northwestern Cook, southern Love County. That's long gone. And with the drier air coming in overnight, that pretty much cuts off any further chance of rain. Cold front will come through in the morning. It won't be a very dramatic frontal passage, but we will get a north wind shift. And boy, tomorrow's going to be a beautiful day. A lot less wind, much drier air in place, and sunshine. Temperatures up in the 70s, so really just about ideal early spring weather. Now here's the tongue of warm air ahead of that low pressure, and here's the chilly air being pulled down behind that with that counterclockwise spin. And we'll get just to the edge of that cold air coming in with lows tomorrow night, probably around 40 to start your Thursday morning. So again, just a quick chill in the air. Farther north, winter storm warnings are posted from Minnesota back into Michigan, where a combination of snow and freezing rain is expected. Real mess up there. That's part of the same system that's skirted by to the north of Texoma, and that's this low you see here on the map. So he just caught the very edge of that. That's why we didn't get any rain with that. So as that moves away, the big upper high that helped to cut off the rain chance will linger. I just don't see much in the way of rainfall until perhaps this weekend when a new trough shows up with a new front. That could generate some showers Saturday, but more likely Sunday, Monday is really our best chance of rain as we wrap up the weekend going to next week. They cash in on some rain on Monday. That's a good day to have rain, and we'll see how that works out down the road. Meanwhile, for tonight, dry line in front come through. We have a northerly wind flow behind that. Really will be a pretty day tomorrow. If you get a chance to get out and enjoy that with humidity and wind decreasing on Wednesday. Now, for the morning hours, it'll be coolest in the west where the drier areas. Still have some moist air in the east, so temperatures will range about 10 degrees across Texoma in the morning. Tomorrow afternoon, everybody up in the 70s, possibly near 80 in our southern counties with a lot of sunshine. Should be a good one. So for tonight, mostly clear. Wind slowly dropping off towards morning. A range from the low 50s west and north to the low 60s east. And that wind will shift around to the west by morning. We're talking about sunny skies and just plain pleasant on Wednesday with a high of 75 to 80. And we'll keep temperatures in the 70s with a cool start Thursday morning. Unfortunately, no further rain chances for several days. At least the wind's dropping off tomorrow.
Thank goodness.
That's a start. Step in the right direction.
Rough.
Thank you, Steve.
Thanks.